ways to find an amazing contractor that can make the deal or break the deal. So I got a question to all of you on this. How do you start to find a good contractor? So one is to go through your own contacts and just ask people. Another way is to call on Google. And one time I actually found a architect like that. I was just Googling, and the 10th one, I found an amazing architect who worked on the property. So sometimes it can be from Google, sometimes it can be from Reddit, and sometimes it can be from your own contacts, word of mouth. And then another one is just based on maybe your WhatsApp friends, or you asking other people, asking friends and family. And what is the difference? Why can't it make it or break it a deal? So the second answer to that question is that the reason why, if you have a good contractor who can find a good plumber and a good electrician and a good person who comes with the right equipment for the lighting, if not, it could be very expensive. An electrician who wants to rip you off can be very, very expensive. It can cost $20,000 for no reason. And somebody who does tiles can charge you $30,000 for tiles for no reason. But if you have a good contractor who knows the numbers, so guys, if you have a $100,000 house and the ARV, the after return value, is $250,000, and you bought it for $100,000, and one contractor, and you get a wrong contractor who can mess you over $50,000, that's already $150,000 in before you did the job. So sometimes you could start a job and then you get another contractor, there's another $50,000, he says, because you're already in middle, and because I have to redo the electrician, and I have to redo the plumbing, and I have to redo the flooring and the tiling and the cabinetry and the vanities, the tubs and the sinks and the tiles and the tables and everything, you end up paying $100,000. So that's $200,000. So there's only $50,000 left for profit. And then something else can come up, a closing cost or another fee, and that goes in, and then you end up losing money because you didn't crunch numbers. You didn't have an underwriter. You didn't have somebody who was to tell you, hey, this is only worth $250,000. Have only $150,000 to play with after you bought the $100,000. So that's why it makes a difference. It makes it or break it if you have a good contractor. So if you don't want to lose your pants on a deal, then you have to make sure that you had an underwriter and you crunched every single numbers to the dollar, to the penny. How much is the contractor going to cost? Making sure that he does the job and be on top of him. Unless you have hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank, you want to be on top of him. Maybe it's once every 6 months. Make sure the contractor is not ripping you off, and don't give him the full money before he does half the job. Give him little bits by little bits, so if he messes you over, you're not in it all the way. Because I know people, I have a friend, he went in $20,000 and he only had $50,000 in the profits. He went in $20,000 over the profits. He bought the house at $200,000, and the house was selling at $300,000. So he only had $100,000 left. So if you have $100,000 and he put $50,000 towards the contractor, right? So that he already gave him $20,000 and the contractor did not do the job. So they had to pay for a second contract. So he ended up not making a penny. So what I'm saying is, you have to really crunch a number about the electrician, the contractor, maybe the landscaping guy. He might cost you an arm and a leg, $10,000, and do the job terrible. He did the job terrible, and you gotta call another landscaping company, and it costs you an additional $5,000. So every penny has to be counted for. When you look at the NRV, you have to look at anybody who tells you the numbers. It has to be, make sure to put double for the construction, or at least 1.5 times whatever the numbers really are, because things end up costing more. I've spoken to many people who build right now, and they all told me that they're doing the job. Towards the end, they realized they cost them at least 1.5 times than their budget. They had to go over a little bit here, a little bit there, so they didn't realize what it was going to really cost, because they can't. A lot of times, last minute things come in, and you realize you like this contractor, you like this guy, the landscaping guy better. You want the room to be a little bigger, a little smaller, the bathroom or the second bathroom, or the kitchen or the sink, or more lighting or whatever it is. But it can be different, and the whole change, and it costs you another half times the amount of money towards the budget. So a lot of times you can squeeze out a little bit more, but you realize first let me make a budget, and then if I can squeeze a little bit more, or a little bit more than a little bit, and you squeeze that. So it usually costs you 1.5 times the real number as a contractor. So that's why you want to get the right, perfect contractor the first time, who's a good guy, somebody you trust, somebody you know, and even if you don't know him, you're using him for the first time, get 3 or 4 quotes. Get a couple different estimates. No matter if you own the house, you're just looking to buy the house. If you're just looking to buy a house, it doesn't matter which city, which state, which country. Because you can find deals and you can hustle and find the right contractor for a house